Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the casino and sports betting industries. This week, we're going to be continuing our journey through November and December in our state and national reports. Deals, we've got a couple of retail book deals to talk about. Industry updates, licenses, launches, got a couple debuts, and a closure.
Okay.
And we're going to finish up with our legislative roundup with news coming out of Virginia, Oklahoma, and Nevada. We'll be right back to talk state and national reports. Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our state and national reports, continuing to look at November of 2024 with the state of Michigan starting us off.
One of these weeks, we're going to get the whole year-end review. I'm sure everyone's crunching numbers in every state in the union now.
Oh, yeah. No, that's going to come at some point. But right now, we've got November sports betting report from the state of Michigan, record total handle, record mobile handle in November.
All right. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Third time since online wagering began in January of 2021 that the operators in the state have had at least $600 million in handle.
I got to tell you, over the last couple of months, there's been a ton of records. I mean, incredible state records that are just falling every month. I mean, there are some states with consecutive monthly records, which is incredible.
The Michigan Gaming Control Board also reported a new iGaming revenue record for the third consecutive month.
Even their online casinos are doing great, so good for them.
Moving over to the state of Ohio, they have their November numbers out. Ohio became the 12th state to pass $15 billion in all-time handle and the 5th state to pass $300 million in state tax revenue.
Okay.
State passed $15 billion in handles since its launch in January 2023. Still one of the quicker ones to get to the $15 billion mark.
You mentioned the launch in Ohio, and we just a couple weeks ago just passed the New Year's Day, and that's when Ohio launched a couple years ago. Well, I don't even know when it was. It was
January of 2023.
2023. I mean, I remember that
launch on
I
January
remember,
1st.
the clock struck midnight, and all of a sudden there was sports betting in Ohio.
Yes.
So that was a great launch. That was one of the better launches, I think.
And November was the second time the state has seen a monthly handle of at least $1 billion.
Okay.
Moving over to the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, we've got their November sports betting report. Virginia became the 10th state to post $700 million or more in monthly handle.
Okay.
State reported record handle for the second straight month, record gross gaming revenue. And that's kind of a growing market.
Oh, it's an absolutely growing market. Over the last couple of weeks or a couple of months, there's been casino openings.
Yes.
So great things are happening in Virginia. It's an incredible market, not only for sports betting, but for all kind of gaming.
All gaming,
it's great, yeah.
Going up the 95, we're going to Rhode Island. We've got their November numbers. Rhode Island reported its first monthly handle of at least $50 million since January of 2023.
Okay.
State also recorded its second month of at least $5 million in revenue in the last 3 months, which is good to see there.
Absolutely.
And its year-to-date mobile handle has passed $350 million.
I like their sports books up there. It's I don't want to sound condescending, but it's quaint. It's there. It's not it's a small state, but they have a great sports betting industry there, and it's a lot of fun there. The casinos we're at. What was it? I want to call it Twin Rivers.
Twin River.
Bally Twin River. Yeah, there was one in Lincoln too. So okay.
Well, that is Twin River.
So it is, I don't even know. There's only 2 casinos and 2 retail sports books up there, and I always get them confused.
They're all owned by Bally's.
Yeah, it's all Bally's, but one was it was weird. It used to be Newport something.
Newport Grand.
Yep. Yeah.
The one in Tiverton.
Tiverton. That's the word I was looking for. Tiverton. Tiverton and Lincoln. That's where they're at.
Exactly. And actually, the one in Tiverton is basically just one big hall, but it's actually set up really nice.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
Yeah. Finishing up our state national reports, like we always do, we're hitting the state of New York for the week ending December 29th. Second consecutive week of at least $500 million in handle. That's 9 out of the last 14 weeks of $500 million or more in terms of weekly handle. First weekly gross gaming revenue of at least $60 million since the week ending May 19th of this year.
Okay.
It was something like 60.1 or 60, just almost 61 million weekly revenue.
Sure.
Great to see that.
Yep. It's interesting. You just had Rhode Island with their numbers, and then you see New York and their numbers.
New York does in a week what Rhode Island does in a month. Yeah,
probably more. I mean, I don't even know, but it's just, you can just see the population density of New York by just looking at these numbers. So interesting.
FanDuel reports second consecutive week with at least $200 million in weekly handle. 9 of the last 11 weeks with at least $200 million in handle. FanDuel's the industry leader there. Every so often you see DraftKings sneak in there.
Sure.
Really, it's usually FanDuel leading, then DraftKings second. DraftKings had its second consecutive week with at least $160 million in the weekly handle as well. So nice to see that.
We're talking national numbers, and this year is the first year of the NCAA football playoffs, and I'm very curious to see the numbers coming out of that time period. Yes. So it should be astounding. We're talking about records being broken. I can't wait to see the numbers after the NCAA season is done. So it should be interesting to see.
Well, with the 5 weeks in December, we may see a new record for handle, monthly handle from New York. So it'll be interesting
the way
to
it sets up, it is 5 weeks in December. So so that should be very interesting.
Some of the weeks are half of the other months too. So
are we going to have the weird accounting thing from New York? You know, if it ends on a Monday and some numbers carry over.
Well, since New Year's Day was on a Thursday.
No, it was a Wednesday.
New Year's Eve was Tuesday. New Year's Day was Wednesday, middle of the week. So the first 3 days of that week will be reported in January. So they won't count toward the December numbers. But if you look at
they will in the long run, but they won't count for that week.
Right.
Okay. But
that's it for the state national reports. We're going to start talking deals right now. This week's deal segment starts off with Caesars. Caesars Sportsbook has announced a partnership with Long Shots in Frederick, Maryland to open a new retail sportsbook.
Okay.
The third Caesars retail sportsbook to open in the state. This was following a controlled demonstration, the soft launch type of situation.
Controlled demonstration?
Demonstration.
What the hell is that?
Well, they were monitoring it. The Gaming Commission was monitoring it. That happened in mid-December. They've gotten the clearance to launch it, open it to the public.
All right.
And this is Caesars coming in to replace Betfred.
Okay.
Betfred had the original deal with Long Shots. Betfred exited the state. Enter Caesars for their third retail book.
Is Betfred essentially out of the U.S. right now?
They're moving out of the U.S. Okay. They're still around in a couple of places.
Okay, all right.
Long Shots does not have a partner yet for mobile wagering, so it's just a retail book.
All right.
Moving over to MGM Resorts. MGM Resorts International announced an agreement to turn over its racebook and sportsbook functions to BetMGM.
Okay.
BetMGM will be running everything in terms of the retail side for MGM Resorts, not just the online side.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see how BetMGM runs the retail books and the race books for MGM Resorts across the country.
By the way, speaking of MGM and race books, we were at the Borgata the other week, and it said their race book closed down, and it was the one race book in Atlantic City, but it looks like in their sports book they have a wall where is a race book. Basically, they have the monitors with
I think
horse racing.
that might be a temporary one.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there, but we were in the sports book in Borgata, and they have a wall of monitors with and chairs facing it, and a lot of people were there watching the races.
It was busy.
So it was a good time. So I guess that is their what you're saying is a temporary race book,
looks like it's a temporary,
or they're using that as a race book, or I'm not sure how that's working out in Borgata. But no, it was nice to see the horse racing.
Well,
Borgata,
the old race book is now High Limit Baccarat and a couple other games.
By the way, I think I saw some cameras.
Baccarat.
Yeah. I saw some cameras on a table, and what Borgata does on their online site is that they have. In the roulette section, they have you can play with other people on the gaming floor with their roulette. So I wonder if they're going to do the same thing with another game there. So it'd be very interesting to see. I have to keep monitoring that.
Yes.
So maybe Baccarat online and on the gaming floor.
One thing to note for the
Who
retail
knows?
books.
Maybe.
One thing to note for the retail books, BetMGM will operate under MGM's house rules for race books and sports books.
Okay.
BetMGM has different house rules.
Okay.
Moving over to esports, we have Sports Information Services announcing an expansion of their footprint for their H2H Global Gaming League, which is their in-house produced esports tournaments.
Okay.
They're short esports tournaments, and people can bet on them. It's almost like a 24/7 channel that they have for betting on esports tournaments.
Huh. All right.
So they are now in 12 states through Bet365 and FanDuel.
All right.
Under this expansion.
Okay.
We've got New Jersey, Colorado, Kentucky, Ohio, Arizona, North Carolina, West Virginia, Tennessee, Kansas, Connecticut, Wyoming, and Vermont.
All right.
That's it for the deals. We're going to start talking industry updates right after this.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-733-6860. 800-733-6860.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start talking industry updates in this segment here. We're going to start off here in our home state of New Jersey, where America's oldest horse racetrack, Freehold Raceway, has officially closed its doors after 170 years of operation.
Very sad. Yeah, no, it's just I haven't been back since they closed the doors, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with the property. But it's sad. They've been racing there, like you said, for over a century, well over a century.
Almost two.
Yeah, a lot of people, work there and had jobs there, and hopefully all the best to them. But I'm very curious to see. That's a big chunk of property there, so I'm very curious to see what the city does with that, or what's going on with that.
No word on what they are doing with it. The current owners have said they hope somebody comes in with a plan that bowls everyone over so the property can be saved. But again, yeah, reading some of the quotes from the jockeys that were going there the last day, the trainers.
Oh, it had to be
emotional. They
yeah.
said it felt like going to a funeral.
Yeah, no, it's such a big part of that community. The mall, pretty close to it, is called the Freehold Raceway Mall.
Yep.
So it's a big chunk of that community. It's
Hopefully
sad to
somebody
see it
comes
go.
in.
Yeah, I don't know what they have planned or what they're talking about, but it's sad to see it go. I remember going there as a small kid.
It's sad because horse racing is experiencing a resurgence.
Yeah,
and I guess they couldn't hold out any longer.
Well,
but anyway,
it's a great track. Hopefully,
yeah.
someone jumps in on it and actually makes it a racetrack again. So we'll see what happens.
Going over to the state of New York, we have DraftKings. And we'll talk about this more in an episode of Turnpike Sports coming up. But
Okay.
DraftKings has launched a new subscription service called DraftKings Sportsbook Plus.
I heard about this.
Yes.
I'm interested to see what this is. I get what is it? I guess it's one of those trial programs in New York to see how it goes and to see the popularity of it and see how it works out.
Yeah, users pay $20 a month to DraftKings. It's a subscription service which will give members increased odds on the types of bets that are most profitable for the country, namely parlays.
Yes, parlays.
Yes, so stepped up boosts for all parlays where the individual legs are minus 500 or narrower.
Yeah, all sports operators, really stress parlays because it's how they make their money. It's good for operators, not really great for the players, but if you hit, you hit.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great when you hit, but the chances of hitting those are not very good. That's why the operators like them.
Well,
But I guess DraftKings are just taking it to a new level and really making, if you really like your parlays, you have a service for you that really boosts odds. So
it's a creative
like
way
it.
for customer retention.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it gives them a choice. You still have your regular DraftKings service, but now if you want something extra, you pay a little extra and per month, and you get better odds and things like that. So.
Over on the national scene, we've got the American Gaming Association releasing their commercial gaming revenue tracker for the month of October. Takes a while to
Yeah, well, that's
compile
what
all
I'm
that
saying.
information.
They're collating
Yep.
everything. So.
The commercial gaming revenue grew 1.9% compared to the same month in 2023. That's the industry's 44th consecutive month of annual growth.
Great. Yep.
Did notice the percentage of growth is slowing down a little bit.
Well, I mean, look, you can't, it's
Just-
still
it's
going.
just-
It's still
yeah.
going in the
It's
right
just
direction.
an observation by me.
It's still
That's
going
all.
in the right direction, but there are just so many casinos and things that could pop up. At one point, we're gonna, like sports betting. We saw incredible growth because not all the states have it. Now most of the states have it, and it's slowed down because there's nowhere else to go
Yep.
because most of the states have it. So that's what happens.
The industry win from traditional casino games, sports betting, and iGaming reached $5.81 billion, which is a new monthly high for the month of October. October's history, not industry history, but
Yep.
October's history. Let's see. We've got land-based and online sports books generating a combined $1.02 billion in commercial revenue across 33 jurisdictions, excluding Arizona, of course.
Yep.
Because we know what Arizona does. They take a while to
Yeah.
record their numbers.
I'm sure Arizona's keeping up bringing up the rear again. So.
Yes. Moving over to the state of Pennsylvania, we've got the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board announcing that they have accepted the invitation to enter the multi-state internet gaming agreement.
You're wondering what took them so long because it's such a great state, a great poker in that state. This is for online poker. People, the multi-state internet gaming agreement is that
I just
they
call
share,
it the compact.
Yeah, they share their play. Like for example, on one of the sites I play on, I play against Nevada players or Michigan players on online poker because there's the agreement. The states joined the agreement, so that's. Now, with Pennsylvania joining the agreement, I can't wait to play, people from Pennsylvania.
Well, they're still waiting on the paperwork for review and sign-off, but they are planning for a joining of the compact in April of 2025, the first month of the second quarter of 2025. But people are saying it may not be April, but at least it'll be in the first half of 2025 when they join it.
Okay.
Moving out to Nevada, we've got Virgin River Casino debuting the Interblock Live Smart Table Games to their gaming floor.
Okay.
That happened mid-December.
I have no idea what that means.
Live Smart Table Games feature a live craps table, a live dual roulette table, and 2 live blackjack tables. 26 seats, 8 at craps, 8 at dual roulette, 5 at each blackjack table.
I think I know what you're talking about.
The game is run by a live dealer using real cards, dice, and roulette wheels, but it's all controlled by computer. The placing of the bets are done through a tablet.
Okay. From what I'm thinking,
there's no money. There's no chips.
Well, what I'm saying is it's one of those things where it's on the gaming floor. There's one kind of stage kind of area where you have everyone's looking toward. You have seats there, and I see what you're saying. I've seen those before.
Everything is the same except money.
They have to be space savers. I mean, so many games can be played like that. It's an efficient use of space kind of thing. So what was the first one that kind of did that?
We saw it in parks.
Yeah. There was a whole bunch.
And that was Interblock. So
yeah.
And we also saw Shack Jack.
I was going to say it was like Shaquille O'Neal had something.
Shack
Jack, or I guess it was a blackjack game with a whole bunch of seats, and you look at the
dealer, and there was a big screen behind the dealer.
There was one also I saw roulette. Someone was doing that. So I think that's you take advantage of it because look, the gaming floor, the area in the gaming floor is so important for casinos, and you have to. You want as many people playing on the gaming floor as possible, and this is a great, efficient use of space.
Staying in Nevada, we've got VGW pulling its global poker site from the state. They were operating a poker site under the sweepstakes laws, and since Nevada is starting to crack down on all those, just like every other state, they pulled their site from the state.
Okay.
Going over to New Hampshire, Every Holdings announced that the company expanded upon its Torn event platform into historical horse racing markets, debuting the installation at Gate City Casino.
Mm-hmm.
Gate City Casino is not a bad place to go. It used to be called Boston Billiards, I believe.
I think so. I think that's the one. Yeah, but no, they love in New Hampshire. They love the historical horse racing.
Well, that's all they're allowed.
Yeah,
so
they love them. So
yeah,
that's
they have
great.
to love them.
So, love them or leave them.
Exactly.
So. But no, they're great now.
So now Every's tournament platform will be active in the Gate City Casino, and this is the first time they're able to do slot tournaments at the casino.
Okay. Those are interesting to see. Just to watch them, just people sitting at the slot, just pounding on a button there.
Yeah.
So,
last story of the week, we've got Brazil.
Yeah,
Brazil
just
launched their regulated and licensed sports betting market on January 1st. Basically, kind of interesting to watch how it's going to develop. It was almost like a shotgun launch.
Yeah.
They
kind of Ohio-esque. You know, I was just talking about how
not every company launched.
What a great way Ohio did it. When the clock struck 12, people launched.
Yeah.
So
there's only about 14 that had received full authorization at the launch. There's another 52 companies in the wheelhouse, I guess you can call it, or whatever.
Watch Brazil. It's going to be a huge gaming market. Gaming market.
But I couldn't let it go. They launched January 1st, so I wanted to put it in there. So, and now we're going to finish up with our legislative roundup. Starting off our legislative roundup, we're going to the Commonwealth of Virginia, where we have Democratic State Senator Mamie Locke pre-filing legislation that was on New Year's Eve, as a matter of fact, to authorize iGaming under the watch of the Virginia Lottery Board.
Like I said, Virginia is an incredible market, and that's, I guess, the next step, iGaming.
If the bill passes, it'll be allowing Virginia's gaming regulator to issue iGaming licenses to brick-and-mortar casino operators for a $1 million application fee, 15% of adjusted gaming revenue.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing market, and it keeps getting better.
Also pre-filed in the state was Senate Bill 124, which would allow for betting on in-state college teams, sides and totals, not player props.
Mm-hmm.
This was actually carried over one more time from the 2024 to the 2025 session. This will be the last time it gets carried over. So.
See, I wish New Jersey would do that. In New Jersey, we can't bet on any college team that's located in the state of New Jersey, or we can't bet on any athletic activity that takes place in the state. So, no tournament betting if it's occurring in New Jersey and things like that. So.
Over in Oklahoma, we have a very interesting sports betting bill that was pre-filed.
All right.
SB 125 would authorize the state's tribes, Native American tribes, to enter compacts that allow them to offer retail and online sports bettings, but the bill requires at least 4 tribes to sign compacts. There have to be at least 4 for this to be active.
All right.
Kind of an interesting twist to see on that one, but they've been having trouble getting this passed anyway, so we'll see exactly where this one goes. That's kind of a different
Sure.
type of approach to it.
You gotta be creative in these things.
And last story of the week, we've got Nevada. The Nevada Gaming Control Board recently held discussions. That's all they've had is discussions about allowing private high-stakes games in the state, including poker.
Well, I'd be very curious to see what the regulations would look like. You know, you want to have some control over this thing. I mean, you know, these private clubs, how are they going to be set up? Is there going to be a rake involved? I know there are certain poker clubs in Texas. You have to have a membership fee, and then you pay for your time at the table. So I don't know what Nevada is talking about, or
Mostly,
or do these private poker clubs have to get a license?
They're technically
what?
public-private because they're in gaming salons.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I don't know how that's going to be set up or what the regulations are going to look like. So it's interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see if that gets any movement, but it's something they discussed because poker is currently not on the state's list of games that can be offered privately. A lot of the other games are.
Well, like I said, you know, is there going to be a rake involved? And, you know, I don't think they're talking about home games.
No.
But
No, these are in salons. These are in private clubs kind of things.
Well, do these private clubs have to, you know, abide by certain rules and regulations? Do they have to file paperwork? So it's interesting to watch. You know, it's a lot of eyes are on this, I would think.
Well, that's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. If you've been watching on TV, you've been seeing the ticker fly by below us with additional news stories for the casino gaming industry, international, domestic, entertainment news that we didn't have a chance to talk about this half hour. And as always, Monday mornings when this show is released, you can go over to our blog, turnpikesports.us, click on the blog button, and you will see a full print version of this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report, which contains stories we talked about, stories in the ticker, and stories we didn't have a chance to cover anywhere else in written form there. So please head on over there at your leisure. And as always, press releases, announcements, jackpots, anything like that, info@turnpikesportsradio.com.
And that'll do for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.